on the previous episode.
So, this is it then?
Witchlayer asks as he looks at the village walls. They see Boulder Dash chasing townspeople. But before they can do anything. So, what brings you two here? Usually, we don't get this many visitors as we've got lately.
Are we there yet? Eggnog Master moans. Seriously, stop complaining. We have only been running for the past 3 hours. Straight!
It's okay, guys. It's just over there. Empath puts in, as they come into view of some sort of outpost. They stop.
So, you say that this guy might help us?
Witchlayer asks.
Well, traveler, that depends on what's on your mind.
A voice is heard answering behind them. Everyone turns around and looks at Ophelia. Silence. Then Eggnog Master asks,
what kind of reindeer are you? I'm not a reindeer, my drunk fellow, but don't you mind that,
he answers while turning his gaze from the drunkard to the Witchlayer.
So, what's it gonna be? Are you going to tell me or not?
Empath steps forward. I brought them here as they were in search of a guide to take them through the swamp.
Ah, I see,
Ophelia answers.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have the time to do it myself, as I'm just returning and need to restock my supplies. But I might just know someone who can.
Then Ophelia takes forth his pan and blows a series of tunes that echoes around almost unnaturally. Then something moves in the bushes, and an antler healer comes forth.
He is almost as good as I in finding the way through this swamp.
Witchlayer looks at the antler healer, then asks,
and what is this help going to cost us? Oh, that's the beauty of it! Nothing!
Ophelia exclaims.
It will be good for him to get something to do. Besides, my ears has been going numb lately from all his constant voodoo chanting. I know what you mean,
Witchlayer remarks as he takes a glance back at Eggnog Master. He turns to the creature and asks,
can you show us the way?
The antler healer turns around, smelling the air, and then starts running towards the swamp.
You better stick to him. He's a fast one,
Ophelia says when he sees them standing still, watching the creature sprint away. Witchlayer, Empath, and Eggnog Master looks at him, Then they start running after the antler healer into the swamp. The little creature runs along narrow paths and from time to time sniffs the air to get his bearing. Then after a while, the antler healer finally stops at a crossing and everyone rests for a second. Is it just me, or do any of you feel like we're being watched? HoNmas comments as he looks around. The swamps are home to many creatures, and we as outsiders, we stick out quite a bit. Empath answers. A sudden sound makes them all turn around to notice that the antler healer has started moving again and is now almost out of sight. They start running, trying to lessen the gap between them, and are in the process taken further and further into the swamp. Until they suddenly appear in a circle of dead trees. The antler healer has stopped running and is staring into the wall of trees. Something's wrong. It's too quiet here, Witchslayer comments. Then the little creature turns around to face them, and they realize he's oozing and pulsing. But before they can react, it bursts open to reveal the parasite. They turn around to get away, but to their horror, the entrance has been blocked by more creatures of the swamp. I don't want to die! HoNmas suddenly screams and manages to burst out of the clearing. What are you doing, you fool? Witchslayer yells, but he is already gone. The creatures slowly circle them in while getting closer and closer, but no one seems to want to advance. Without looking away, Empath whispers, "Why aren't they attacking us?" Most likely, they are unsure if we're dangerous to them, but not for much longer. Their sheer numbers will soon bolster their courage, and then it will surely get messy. Witchslayer answers. Well, why wait? Let's get this over with. Empath whispers and proceeds to say, "Hold on tight, this might feel weird." as she ults Witch Slayer. The creatures nervously start to back away. Suddenly, a glowing orb appears between them and the horde. Out of the light, Nymphora then appears, while saying, "Hi guys, new lift?" Some of the creatures, now realizing that their dinner is escaping, rush out, but too late. White lights, a breeze, and birdsong. Witch Slayer and Empath looks around and finds them standing in a meadow with birds flying in the sky. I would like a heads up next time. Nymphora giggles. Witch Slayer turns around to find himself standing next to the fairy. But what makes him dumbfounded is the enormous tree behind her that could only be a fabled sapphire tree. Nymphora, how nice to see you, Empath begins. But before we talk more, could you be so kind as to retrieve our third companion? He kind of panicked and ran off. Of course, Nymphora replies as she begins to shamble and disappears. Witch Slayer looks around, taking in the view, and is about to ask Empath a question when the glowing orb returns, and shortly after, Nymphora and Eggnog Master is standing by their side. Looking around in drunk confusion, the drunkard erupts. What, how did I, who are you? I need to lie down. Witch Slayer, snapping back to his senses, looks at Empath and Nymphora and then asks, "Could anyone explain to me what just happened? Who are you? And what is this place?" Well, it's kind of a long story, Empath begins. But it all began many years ago when I was a young apprentice and I was learning my basics in nature magic and runes. So, you say you can do this teleporting thing again and transport us all the way to the North Pole? Witch Slayer continues. Unfortunately, no. My powers can't take the icy cold up there. But I can take it to the edge of the frost field, Nymphora answers. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's do this, Empath continues. Do I really have to? Eggnog Master interrupts. I can just walk from here and... Don't be stupid, you're coming along. Witch Slayer cuts him off and Eggnog Master walks toward them, sulking. Now everyone, come close to me, Nymphora directs and as everyone gathers, she starts chanting. And with a flash of white light, the wolf and bird song is switched for the icy cold and sound of snowfall. Our three heroes thanks Nymphora for her help, and as she starts to chant, Witch Slayer, Eggnog Master, and Empath look out over the frozen landscape. Then, as with an unsaid agreement, they all begin to walk out towards the snow wasteland.